Hey friends, welcome back to Rita Talks. I'm Rita, and on this YouTube channel, I just share some of the thoughts, ideas that I've been thinking about, some of the things that have been going on in my life. And in today's video, I want to talk about this podcast episode that I listened to today, which was, give me a second, I'm going to tell you which podcast episode, but basically it was on the Tim Ferris Show. It was episode number 626 with Hugh Howey, who is a best-selling author of the book Wool. I don't really know this book because I don't read much fiction, but I genuinely loved this episode and I was really impressed by the work ethic of this guy and just his overall life philosophy. So basically, he wanted to be a writer for 20 plus years, since the age of 12 to the age of 32. And he, like, for all of that time, he got in his own way and somehow, like, did not manage to become a published author. But then after that, he just put out many books. And what I absolutely love about this podcast episode is just the sheer volume that this guy has put in. Basically, when he was struggling with wanting to become a writer and like stop getting in his own way, basically he decided that he was going to write 2 books a year for 10 years, and only after having written these 20 books would he decide that whether he's cut out for becoming a writer or not. And this is the kind of mindset that I absolutely love. It's the kind of commitment that I myself I'm trying to basically stand by and implement in my life. And I just thought it was so inspiring. And basically, at some point, he was talking about like probably one of the reasons that he has become so successful. I think his books, like he has done many things. To be honest, I'm not super plugged into the fiction stuff lately, so I wouldn't know. But from what I heard on this episode, basically a trilogy that he wrote has become basically the most successful show on Apple TV. Or maybe I'm completely misquoting the numbers, but anyway, it's a big deal and his work is reaching millions and millions of people. And basically, he was talking about what exactly has allowed him to become such a good writer and get such a good hold of storytelling and communicating things in a way that resonates with the readers. And basically, he was talking about the fact that for minimum 2 years, okay, listen to this. This is crazy. For minimum 2 years, at least he did it 2 years in college. And then after that, when he started writing daily some book reviews, basically he was reading 1 book a day for minimum 2 years. Like, I don't know how long the addition of the whole period that he did this for, like how long that was. But this is absolutely insane. 1 book a day for 2 years is just so crazy and so inspiring. And that just basically tells us about the importance of volume. I mean, you might get lucky, right? Like you might get a lucky break, but basically the most reliable way is just to put in the work and put in the volume. And that really resonated with me, and it served as a good reminder for for the things that I'm investing in. Because especially if you're doing the same thing for a long period of time, and for example, for me, it's been about a year or so that I've basically started taking action somewhat, like action that's aligned with the kind of person that I want to become. And it's like at some point it kind of gets redundant, and you have to find new ways to remind yourself of the message that is still the same, but you just have to find new ways of getting that message into your head. And for me, listening to these podcasts, podcast episodes, serves as the perfect reminders. Another example that I can think of like needing to have extra reinforcement is that I have been on my health journey for a little while, and I've been quite consistent for the past year or so, going to the gym regularly, challenging myself physically, etc. And now basically, like one way that I try to that I like to spice things up is because I'm a bit of a like a techie basically. I mean, I am I am a techie. That's what has led me to the career path that I'm on as a software engineer. That kind of aligns with the kind of person that I am. But anyway, for me, what I find is nice is being able to read about some health tech stuff. So here I have my Oura ring that I've been wearing for I think a year and a half, that I've had for a year and a half. I have my Apple Watch, which I've had for I think almost 5 years now. I think I bought it in 2019, so about 4.5 years ago. And I'm wearing my blood glucose monitor, which I started wearing a little over a year ago. I think I started wearing it in November 2022. And yeah, it's just having these small things, like, or maybe some new app that maybe helps me do something better. I don't know, do something about my sleep or something like that. It's just a fun way for me to keep reinforcing these same principles, but using basically different techniques, which basically bring in some variety and like somewhat prevent this kind of boredom that leads to stopping doing the thing. And the most important thing for me is to not stop. So basically keep going, I would not say at all costs, but just keep going at a pace that's sustainable, of course. That's why I'm not editing any of these videos right at this point. I don't know by the time that this one comes out whether I will be editing them or not, or maybe I have someone to help me edit them. I'm not sure. I cannot predict the future. So you will know probably more than I do. But yeah, just finding new ways to get these principles reinforced in my head is something amazing. And basically why I've been thinking about this is that I need, like, my Apple Watch is 4.5 years old. I've changed phones twice and I've still had the same watch. But basically I've been thinking of getting a new one soon. And I think actually probably will buy it next week. I've been procrastinating on buying it because I wanted it to not be an impulse buy, and it's something that I've really been thinking about and like wanted to do for a while. Especially that the main reason that I'm in such a hurry to do it is that the battery on this watch is just such a problem for me because of how much I work out. But even like normal workout days, it does not hold for the whole day for me. So that's why I really need to get a new watch. But yeah, I've been holding off on it as much as I can. Will probably buy it next week when I'm back from Paris, because I will go to Paris on Friday to spend the weekend with my sister. Yeah, I will. Anyway, just to go back to the point that I was trying to make, is that I really appreciate this kind of content, like this podcast episode that I watched, that I listened to today, because of this reinforcing function, this novelty, but also not novelty, because the principles, the underlying principles are the same, but seeing a different implementation from someone else is really, really helpful, and helps reinforce this mental model of these principles, like keeps re-justifying what I'm currently doing, and somewhat giving value to, like, reinforcing my values. And basically it's like I try to seek out new information, because I don't want to just reinforce my values, like what I currently know. Like, I don't want to be biased towards what I'm already familiar with, and I'm always open to new ideas, obviously. But when I, like, basically usually when I expect to find a new idea, and then it turns out that it's just a variation of an idea that I already knew somewhat of. It's like an extra reinforcing factor. It's like a voting mechanism. The information which makes it, which makes the insight, like, basically gives the insight that the information is reliable in some sense. I hope that makes sense, whatever I'm saying. But yeah, that's what I'm constantly seeking with these podcasts and stuff, is that I don't, like, most of the time I've heard it all because of just the sheer volume of podcasts that I've listened to. But I love reinforcing the right behaviors and the right ideas, and having different sources for these behaviors and ideas that validate them. But also here and there I find some golden nuggets that really resonate, that I've never heard before, which is always a bonus. But yeah, just super grateful for today. And yeah, it just feels super cool to I don't know, get inspired like this by someone, like, just to see someone with such a long-term mindset, which is the kind of mindset that I am committed to living by. So it's always nice to know that, I don't know, somehow I'm on the right track, just because of the lack of, somewhat feedback. But as long as I know that my inputs are aligned, then I don't need to worry about the outputs. So yeah, that's my mental model somehow about this. Anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about for today. Thanks a lot for tuning in. You can click here to watch my previous video on this channel, so right before this one, or you can click here to watch my latest video on the channel overall. Thanks again for tuning in. I hope you have a fantastic rest of the day, night, whichever time of day it is where you are right now. Bye for now, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye bye!